The man, the myth, the legend here, folks. Bringer of Rain Boxing Talk. Back again with some more boxing news. Now, Justin Fortune, the longtime strength and conditioning coach of Manny Pacquiao, came out a couple of days ago and had some pretty noteworthy comments about the Pacman's upcoming fight with Errol Spence. Basically, it seems like Justin Fortune doesn't really believe that Spence is going to be too much of a challenge for Pacquiao. He talked about the strength of Manny being underrated, how he's going to actually be the stronger fighter in the ring with Spence. Now, that might not be the case necessarily. I mean, Manny is 5'6", and I believe Errol Spence is going to have a good 4 inches in height on him and probably is going to weigh about 15 to 20 pounds heavier in the ring against Pacman. That's not really a huge surprise given how much weight Pacquiao usually gives up in his fights. I mean, this guy could probably fight at 135, but he fights at welterweight, not having to cut any kind of weight at all. We all famously know how Pacquiao is actually eating, big meals right up to his weigh-in and still coming in multiple pounds under the welterweight limit. This guy has been fighting bigger men his entire career. Spence will be the physically bigger, stronger guy. So Fortune kind of was, I'm not sure what he was talking about there, but he did talk about the speed. And the speed is something that is hard to really overlook here. The hand speed advantage and the foot speed advantage could very well be Manny Pacquiao's, and that's what Justin Fortune really said. He said that it's going to be basically on an entirely different level, that Errol Spence has nothing close to the speed of Manny, which, especially in the early rounds when Manny still has his gas tank, could be a huge deal. But it looks like, I'm not sure if this is just for the media, but hopefully Justin Fortune is not underestimating Spence's skills in the ring. I mean, he basically went on record and said that Pacquiao is an entirely different animal compared to Errol Spence, that when they get in the ring, he's going to feel Pacquiao's strength and speed, and he's not going to know how to adapt to it, which will be definitely compelling to see because I think it's fair to say that Errol Spence, well, there's only one Manny Pacquiao, but he hasn't fought anyone that's close to the awkwardness and the explosiveness and the suddenness and speed of Manny. Another bold statement was the prediction of a knockout of Errol Spence Jr. Now, I would be utterly shocked if that were to occur because, I mean, the last stoppage we saw was against Lucas Matisse, a pretty tough fighter at one point, but he's definitely more of a super lightweight, a 140-pound fighter. He's actually more of Manny's size. I mean, like I said, Manny is more of a light welterweight anyway, but that was his last knockout. We haven't seen Manny really be able to put away a guy as big as Errol Spence. So we'll see if he can do it, if he can pull off the improbable.